me and my daughter, we was talking about the RH negative blood, and they was trying to say that they can't figure out where the RH negative blood type come from. And a lot of people, they think that the RH negative is the chosen blood. Some of them thinks that the RH negative is the Anunnaki's pure bloodline breed. But I really don't think that's what it is. At first, I used to think that it was the Anunnaki's pure bloodline. But when I thought about it, I want y'all to look at life for what it is. All you gotta do is look at life for what it is, and you can see pretty much what happened in the past, because everything repeats itself. Now look at Elon Musk, and look at Bill Gates, and look at all these doctors and scientists and stuff like that works on the human anatomy. They work on the human blood. They work on the human plasma. They all about the human body. You know what I'm saying? Elon Musk is trying to put chips in the body and stuff. Bill Gates, and then you got the other doctors and scientists. So that lets me know, over the millennials and over the generations, you had people that was basically tampering with the human body, that was tampering with the human blood, right? So if the Anunnakis were the very first alien beings to create man, then after the Anunnakis left, it had to have been other beings that came on this planet and interfere with the human anatomy, that interfered with the human blood. This is why we got A, B, A, negative A, positive A, O negative, O positive, because it had to have been other beings that came on our planet and interfered with our well-being. This is the reason why the human body evolutionized. This is why we don't look the same like we used to. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that the RH negative blood came from one of the beings that was on this planet. They could have been other humans. They could have been other people. But I believe that the RH negative came from the beings that was also here. Because they really don't talk about the other beings that was on this planet that interfered with the bloodlines. They only talk about the Anunnakis. It's almost like the Anunnakis created the humans and basically we evolutionized through the air. But that's not what happened, because if you look at life for what it is, you got people today that is tampering with our bodies and experimenting on our bodies. They are conjoining us with animals and all different types of beings and things, right? So they are making a new being, and they already created it. This is what we are heading into now. So I believe that the RH negative and the RH positive bloodline came from beings that was once here well after the Anunnakis left. These are beings that was here that tampered and interfered with the bloodline, and they took their own blood and they tried to make man. Because do y'all really think that when the Anunnakis created the first human, the first being, the first slave, that they actually look like us today? Think about it. The Anunnakis is hundreds of thousands of years old. They was the claim to be the very first alien beings on this planet Earth. So when they created the first man, do you think that the first man looked like us, looked like this? They look way different. They didn't even have what we have now. They didn't even have the way of life. So imagine how they had to look when they was created during that time, and how we have evolutionized since then to become looking like this. Now imagine other beings, other mans, other species that came on this planet and seen us and interfered with our bodies. You understand what I'm saying? Interfered with our blood, interfered with our plasma, interfered with the way that our body works. Because the way our hands look now, our hands are supposed to be like this so we can grab our food. You know what I'm saying? And our feet supposed, it's a lot of shit. So I don't believe that the RH negative and the RH positive bloodline is from the Anunnakis. And if it is, I don't think that they are going to tell people the absolute truth. But what I do believe is that it was other beings besides the Anunnakis that was here on earth, that was tampering with the human body and the human blood and the human plasma. And these beings was taking their own blood, taking their own plasma, taking their own bodies and conjoining it with the human body. Because right now you got doctors and scientists that is taking animals. You got doctors that is taking animal parts, animal hearts, and putting it into the human body. You know what I'm saying? That you got people that is putting blood, animal DNA in humans, and human blood and animal DNA. So on the daily, they are constantly figuring out how to evolutionize man, how to make man either more smarter or make man more dumber or make man to be more evolutionized. So imagine how humans is going to look in another 10 years from now and another 20 years from now. Do you think that we are going to still be looking like this? You can't say that the Anunnakis did this because they haven't been here hundreds of thousands of years ago. So if 20 years from now, if you look ahead of 20 years from now, who do you think is going to be responsible for the way man look? And looking at what we know now, who are tampering with our blood right now? Look around you at life. Who is tampering with our blood right now? Who is tampering with our DNA? Who is tampering with the way that the human thinks, the human lives? Who is tampering with that? You know what I'm saying? Now think about what had to happen back then. The same thing happened now had to happen back then. So if they putting chips in the back of our heads and all in our hands, and they are doing all of this stuff with the air, and they are doing all of these things to us, eventually it has to change us. That means our blood and our plasma is being changed. Because if you are vaccinated, your blood does not match the blood that you had for before, right? So that means your blood is changed. So how do we know in the next 10, 15 years, they're going to have a new blood type? You understand what I'm saying? So all you got to do is just look at life. Life is nothing but a show. Life is nothing but a learning experience. What you have to do is, instead of you living in life, you have to fall back and just look around at life and look at what you see. Like, damn. Because nothing that is going on now didn't happen hundreds of thousands of years ago. Even back when Jesus was alive, the same things were still going on now. It's just that we're viewing it in modern day times. Just like if we were born back in 1923, 1623, 1223. The same thing is going on now. The wars that we got going on, they had them wars thousands. Even when the Anunnakis was here, they had wars. You understand? Wars is all, everything that is going on right now has always been going on since we was invaded here. So look at life for what it is. Look at life as a show. Instead of participating in it, drowning in it, chasing in it, and stressing yourself about life, take a step back from life. And then you're going to see, like, wow. Then you're going to notice you are going to always be a worker because you are programmed and created to be a worker. So right now, they are evolutionizing the man so that the man can be a better what? Worker. So they are making robots to become better workers and can produce more without being too needy or having too much maintenance. You understand what I'm saying? So all they doing is evolutionizing man again. And they have done it and they have accomplished it. You understand what I'm saying? The same thing that they always done. So imagine how we looked as beings before we even got invaded.